Jones, it is too bright to be alive. Hello, Chicago Cub baseball YouTube fans. Hope all you guys are having a lovely Tuesday night. I hope you guys are having a great Hoop Day Eve. I hope you guys are also having a great Jackie Robinson Day Eve and a Wednesday Eve as well, guys. I mean, tomorrow is going to be a very special day in the game of baseball, Jackie Robinson Day, where everybody in minor league ball, in major league ball, and at some college ball games tomorrow will wear the legendary baseball number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson. UCLA baseball team will be wearing 42 tomorrow night in honor of Jackie Robinson, because Jackie Robinson attended UCLA. But that is tomorrow, guys. I actually don't know. I actually forgot to do something earlier today on the pre-show, the pregame show on the channel earlier today. I forgot to make one breaking news announcement, and it is on a former Chicago Cub of Patrick Wisdom. I don't know if you guys know this, but Patrick Wisdom is back in MLB baseball. That is right. Congratulations to the former Chicago Cub, the former talented, amazing Chicago Cub, Patrick Wisdom. He was called up earlier today by the Seattle Mariners, so he will be joining the Seattle Mariners tonight in their game. So congratulations again to former Chicago Cub Patrick Wisdom on that, guys. When Patrick Wisdom left the Cubbies, he ended up playing 2 seasons in the KBO, and he tore up in the KBO in those 2 seasons as well. So it wasn't like he had one bad year. He had 2 amazing years. But, all right, guys, we have a lot to get to and a lot to talk about. So let's get into the game 2 highlight/recap between the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, guys, so we had some Tuesday night baseball in the city of brotherly love. Yet alone, we had some Tuesday night Chicago Cub baseball in the city of brotherly love tonight. It was game 2 of a 3-game series between the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. And like I said, guys, in the pregame show, right-handed pitcher Colin Ray was the expected starter for the Cubbies tonight. And late last night after game 1, that plan did change. And instead of right-handed pitcher Colin Ray getting the start tonight, the Chicago Cubs decided to do a opener and give the ball to Riley Martin, the lefty. Now, it was the first time this year in 2026 that the Chicago Cubs went with an opener. If you guys don't know what an opener is, it basically is someone who is a long relief pitcher or a relief pitcher, basically a pitcher that is out of the bullpen. It can be a long reliever, a setup, a closer, a reliever. It doesn't matter. But when they start the game on the mound for a team, that is considered a opener. The Cubs did it a couple times last year with Drew Pomeranz and some other guys. Former Chicago Cub manager Joe Madden was really, really popular to do that. He did that a lot. But yeah, for the very first time in the 2026 Chicago Cubs regular season, they decided to go with a opener in game 2 of this 3-game series. Now, last night was not a good night for the Cubbies, but the great news is on a Hoop Day, Jackie Robinson Day Eve, they had the opportunity to tie up the series at 1 game apiece. However, for the Phillies, a win tonight, and the Philadelphia Phillies would be able to win the 3-game series. So the only question was, on a Tuesday night in the city of brotherly love, would the Chicago Cubs be able to tie the series up at least at 1 apiece against the Philadelphia Phillies before they have to play the series finale tomorrow on a day evening on Jackie Robinson Day? All right, guys. So yes, guys, it was the middle game of this 3-game series, guys. And what was really interesting, guys, is nothing happened in the first inning for both teams, but the second inning would be a different story, guys. First and foremost, guys, the second inning, the bottom of the second, that was the first inning that Colin Ray would be on the mound, and it would not be a good inning. The Philadelphia Phillies would get 3 hits in the bottom of the second inning, but their number 8 hitter, Alvaro Sosa, BAM! 3-run bomb, and it was already a 3-zip lead in favor of the Phillies. However, you thought that would be the end of the night and an automatic L for the Chicago Cubs? Well, hold on. You know, that was only the bottom of the second inning. It wasn't like it was late in the ball game. But you know what? The very next inning would be the top of the third, and BAM! The Cubs would get right back into it, guys. They would send 7 men to the plate in the top of the third inning. More importantly, they would be able to put a 2 spot on the board, and bippity boppity boo, we're right back in the ball game, and we have a new ball game. But you know what? That would not stop there, guys. Man, there is one thing that the Chicago Cubs did tonight. They hit the ball well. They really grinded into counts, and that's what I loved about seeing them tonight. You know, number one, guys, we should have started the highlight reel with only one guy. That's Riley Martin, okay? This is a guy that made his very first MLB start, okay? Riley Martin, prior to tonight, had not made a start on a big league mound. That is pretty crazy. And in only his 1 inning of work, he would face 3 men. He would only strike out 1, but he would get a 1, 2, 3 inning. And you know what? Riley Martin in his very first MLB start was perfect. So, you know, I'm just saying, okay? You know, first MLB start, it's in the city of brotherly love. Philadelphia is not a friendly place to play if you are the visiting team. I do know a lot about that. But back to it, guys. I mean, the Cubs, guys, Nico Horner had a great game. But there was a scary moment in the ball game with Nico Horner. It was the top of the third inning. Basically, what would happen, guys, is so Nico Horner would it would be Michael Busch who hit a single right to right field. Nico Horner was trying to go from first to third on that single. Adolis Garcia, the right fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies, BAM! Missile, literally a missile from right field to third base, threw out Nico Horner. But what was really concerning was Nico went down in that, guys. He was actually tagged really hard in the helmet, so it was at least a little concerning for the most part if he would be okay. It wasn't like a boom. No, it was a tag just to the helmet. You know, that's always scary when that happens. So that's why I'm saying it was a little concerning, guys. But you know what? You talking about the Cubs grinding it out. They had better ABs than they did last night. And a matter of fact, guys, they were able to get Aaron Nola off the mound after 5 innings. And I gotta be honest with you, if there's one guy in the Phillies starting rotation that you need to at least get out after 5 innings, it's Aaron Nola, guys. And the at-bats were, I mean, just phenomenal. They were way better than last night right off the bat. And most importantly, guys, you know, the Cubs, I mean, if there's one guy you should give people, okay, sorry guys, I got lost. If there's really one guy that I think you need to give props to, it's Colin Ray. Because Colin Ray was scheduled to start this ball game. Instead, it was an opener with Riley Martin. Riley Martin did a awesome job. Okay, he only went 1 inning, but it was a perfect inning. Okay, but Colin Ray, man, I mean, the guy went like 6 innings and was pure phenomenal, guys. And you got to look at what I'm talking about. The bottom of the 2nd inning was the first inning that Colin Ray was on the mound, and the Philadelphia Phillies would send 6 men to the plate. So in the first inning that Colin Ray pitched, he had to face 6 men, and he gave up 3 hits, and one of those hits was a boom 3-run home run. But what I like about the game tonight that the Chicago Cubs did, they got their butts right back in the game. They did not give up one little bit, guys. And you know what? That's one reason why. Oh, by the way, did I say that the Cubs really did really well? Yeah, they grinded out at bats. Alex Bregman had a multi-hit night. What about Nico Horner? Nico always being Nico. And you know what? I really like it. Most importantly, guys, I liked. Now, this is not what I liked, okay? It is one thing that kind of did go wrong for the Chicago Cubs tonight. It was left on base. They left 8 men on base in the ball game, and the Philadelphia Phillies only left 4 men on base, okay? Now, that's really the only minus in tonight's game, I thought, for the Chicago Cubs, but you know what? It's pure okay. It does happen, and there's really not much I could say other than that. So, you know, great job by the Cubbies tonight, guys. And they really fought it out and grinded it out. And I'm very proud to say that on a Hump Day Eve, the Chicago Cubs pull out the W 10-4, your final score. The Cubs nickel. And you know what? We will have the series finale, Game 3 tomorrow night on Jackie Robinson Day, and the winner of tomorrow will win the series. Oh, did I forget one thing? Chicago Cub baseball fans, it wasn't just fly the W for the Chicago Cubs on a Tuesday night. Nah. There were 3 other members of the Cubs family that also got to fly the W on a Tuesday night. Congratulations to the Iowa Cubs. Congratulations to the South Bend Cubs. Congratulations to the Mill Beach Pelicans. They are the 3 minor league affiliate of the Chicago Cubs that were able to pull out a W on a Tuesday night. So that means we have 4 W's. The Cubs technically, the Chicago Cubs technically won 4 games in one day. And you're probably asking, well, Ryan, you got to be crazy. The Chicago Cubs did not play 4 games in one day. Well, usually you would be right on that, but think about it. The A affiliate of the Cubs, your Middle Beach Pelicans, got a W. Actually, no. Yeah, they did. So it was the A. Middle Beach Pelicans got the win. The high A South Bend Cubs got a win. The AAA Iowa Cubs got a win. And the Chicago Cubs got a win. So if you add all that up, 3 minor leagues, 1 big league, bippity boppity boo, 3 plus 1 equals 4. Ladies and gentlemen, on a Tuesday night, on a hump day evening, the Chicago Cubs technically win 4 games in 1 night. Yes, guys, it sounds crazy. The math does not quite add up, but I just proved it to you. Middle Beach Pelicans, South Bend Cubs, Iowa Cubs, Chicago Cubs, all of them get a big, fat, happy W on a Tuesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate. I got to ask all you Cub fans one question. What do you guys have to say when we get 4 wins on one day or 4 wins on one night? Yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. It did happen, guys, and it is a great time to celebrate. So, bravo, congratulations to the Middle Beach Pelicans, the South Bend Cubs, and the Iowa Cubs all getting a W on a Tuesday night. And of course, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs as well. All of that. You know what, guys? I shouldn't be saying when is the last time the Cubs got 4 W's on one night. Shouldn't really be asking that question. But you know what? It all happened. It all happened with pure happiness. And I got to say, on a Tuesday night, it feels great to be alive as a Chicago Cub fan. It feels great to be alive on a Tuesday night as an Iowa Cubs fan. It feels great to be alive on a Tuesday night as a South Bend Cubs fan. And it feels great to be alive on a Tuesday night as a Middle Beach Pelicans baseball fan as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just presented the evidence to you that the Chicago Cubs won 4 games on one night, which means on a Tuesday night, I have proved that the Chicago Cubs got 4 W's on one night. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to prove to you. Now, my question to you guys is, what do you guys have to say about that?